Hey, thanks for joining us here on our fifth installment of Buster's Glitch Ass Gaming Podcast. I'm Tony Flowers, and of course, I'm here with my co host and very great friend, Oscar Warrior. Welcome, brother.
Hello.
How was your week so far?
It was good, man. Pretty standard. Guess I'll start with the mini split story. On Saturday, I had a couple contractors come out and install a mini split in my garage. And for anybody that doesn't know, we live in Arizona, so it gets unbearably hot in the
Yes.
summer. I'm talking like in the hundreds, like 110, 15, 120. And we're like getting into that part of June where it's just
hmm
ramping up in heat, man.
Yeah, we're definitely climbing up into those 110s plus. Yeah,
Yeah.
like this week, last week, for sure. I'm,
Yeah, and the gym is in the garage, so I need that mini split, bro.
I'm really glad you brought that up because I have no idea what the fuck a mini split is. So
Mm,
for the layman's like me,
mm.
what exactly is that?
It's just a small AC unit that it's got a compartment that you mount on the outside, um, and there's like an inner part that you have on the inside that's blowing cold air, and it uses refrigerant to to cool. I think what is it? Coils? It cools coils, and then when that heats up, it gets taken out to the fan outside, and it like disperses the heat, and so it's just like a cycle of like heating and cooling, heating and cooling. But yeah, it's a little mini AC basically.
And so you had to have somebody come by and what cut a hole in the wall and put it in there or something?
Yeah, and run cables for like the
Ah,
refrigerant, and then it has its own like breaker box. And they had to run the electrical across the house to the electrical box and plug it in. And there's no way I could have done any of that by myself, so I had to have these guys come and install it.
that's pretty fucking cool, man. I remember when you first told me that you wanted to make a gym out of your garage, and I was just like, dude, well, summers are gonna fucking suck. I always meant to ask you about what you planned on doing about that. So I'm really glad you brought that up because it's always apparently slipped my mind. I've never actually asked you about it. So
Mhm. Yeah, we just used fans before, but those would just circulate air, so we'd basically suffer through the heat.
I gotcha. I gotcha.
Si, senor. Should we? Oh wait, no. How was your week? Forgot to ask you. My bad.
No, no, you're good. It was kind of subpar actually. It was kind of sad. My betta fish died. Well, we put him down. He was such a good boy, man. His name was Kai,
Mm,
and he was old. And he's been kind of struggling the last couple of weeks. So we kind of knew it was coming, but we weren't like I was kind of thinking just let him go naturally, but
mhm,
but when I looked it up, it was just like, yeah, he's probably suffering at this point. He was just very lethargic. When he would swim, it would be very erratic, and it was just very short bursts and stuff. So I looked up a way
mhm,
to put him down humanely, and they said something about clove oil and putting him in a little container full of tank water and couple of drops of clove oil, and that it would put him into a very deep slumber. And once he's in that sleep, you can totally tell by looking at him. You just kind of keep dropping more and more clove oil in there until he just kind of goes. And that's what we
mhm.
did. It broke our hearts. We're a couple of fucking blubbering messes by the end of it, but
I bet, bro.
yeah, it
My
sucks, man.
condolences.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, he was like a little fucking puppy dog. Every time you come into the room, you make a noise, you open the drawer or anything, like he can feel the vibrations of your voice or whatever, and he would come up to the top and he would greet you, he'd get all excited thinking you're gonna give him some food, and we usually would, and he would blow you little bubbles and stuff. He was uh such a joy, man. And it's
Mhm.
only been a couple of days, so every time I'm in the room and I look at the tank, I always expect to see him and he's not there, and it breaks my heart. So now the tank is just full of snails and that's it. So but
Yeah.
they're cute. They're cute too in their own right. We have a brand new ram's horn snail. I didn't even know they were in there. I thought we only had one ram's horn and a bunch of bladder snails. And all of a
Mhm.
sudden this morning I saw a brand new little tiny itty bitty ram's horn snail, and I'm like, where did you come from, you little shit? All right, cool. They're cute.
Asexual
Yeah,
reproduction.
That has to be, yeah, exactly, exactly. I was getting all Jurassic Park on it. I was like, life finds a way.
Yeah, the mystery of life.
Yeah, man. So it was kind of a shitty week in terms of that. Um, I also wanted to say that like, that same night, I needed some comfort food, and we tried this place called Bubba's 33, and that just opened recently in Phoenix. And
Uh,
I got the fish fry, and I didn't even think about it until I was almost done with the plate. I was like, "So to comfort yourself for putting your fish down, you ate some fish fry." And I'm
you
just
eat some
like,
fish. Fuck these other fish.
I was like, "Fuck it." Kai would understand. Kai understands. I'm like, maybe that's some subconscious way of absorbing his always positive energy or something. I didn't eat him, but I definitely didn't flush him down the toilet.
Yeah,
So
you ate
yeah,
some other fish.
yeah, yeah, that's it. Fuck it.
Good for
But
you for not flushing him down the toilet, man.
thanks, man. Yeah, I remember growing up with that being the thing. It's just like, yeah, when a fish dies, you flush them down the toilet. It's just what you do. But there's always that moment when you hit the flush and then they just kind of look like they're alive all of a sudden. You're like, wait.
Wait a minute. You stick your hand in there, you just try to dig him out. You end up picking up a log.
Yeah, dude.
Uh,
Kai was such a good boy, man. He deserved way better than a toilet, so I didn't give him the toilet.
Good man.
Yeah, dude. Um, but so there is something I wanted to tell the audience real quick about our a recent idea that we had. Uh, we wanted to join the game of the year conversation, but being just your average Joes, we have to pick and choose which new games we buy. We have to wait for sales and all that. So we're usually behind on most big releases. So we know we're not alone in this. So we thought of approaching Game of the Year from a different angle that hopefully you guys can relate to. So instead of, what is the best game that you played that was also released this year, we ask, what is the best game you've played this year for the first time? Like, what is your discovery of the year? And that's the idea we had. And that, of course, could include games that were released this year, of course. But I think it'll be really exciting to hear about people playing an older game that they always wanted to get around to, or just stumbled upon due to a sale or something that they
Mm.
just loved more than any other gaming experience this year. Um, so with that said, do you have a current, like, as of right now, since we're halfway through the calendar year, what's your current, obviously subject to change, discovery of the year, Oscar?
The only game I have played, I think, this year so far. I actually can't confirm that, but I can't remember anything else. The only thing that sticks out in my mind is Xenoblade Chronicles X. Because I played that game for so long. And of course, I'm going to find a way to bring Xenoblade Chronicles into this episode for the fifth time.
Yeah, every
Um,
episode, it's got to be a thing now.
yeah, just Xenoblade Chronicles X. It really left its impact on me. And I'm hoping it's going to sound fucking insane, but I'm hoping that if it gets an upgrade on the Switch too, I might just replay it. But far, far into the future.
I hope so. Jesus Christ.
uh, what about you, Tony? What's your discovery of the year?
As of right now, and I don't even think it's recency bias that makes me say Tabletop Simulator. That is my so far discovery of the year. I mean, it's a $20 game, but the value is just, how do you word, it's just forever growing, basically.
Yeah, it's galactic.
Yeah, dude. And like I watched a review of the game from around 2020 during the COVID lockdown.
Hmm.
Even though the game came out in 2015, and during the time of the review, they had mentioned that the game had about, I want to say, 30,000 or so player created board games in the workshop. And
Hmm.
now, the last time I checked, which was a few days ago, it's just under a million. You know,
Christ.
it's insane. I'm having such a great time just testing out a bunch of games in here. I'd love to play them all one day, get physical editions of them.
Mhm.
Um, but I'm excited about the idea of playing these games with you and the crew at some point. I honestly don't think I'll ever uninstall this from my hard drive. To be honest, this is gonna be like this is gonna be a mainstay on my hard drive forever.
That's good, man. That's saying a lot because I think I don't even have that many games that I just have on my Steam. I only have like one or two I think that are just staples. Like I'm never deleting them ever again.
What are they, if you don't mind me asking? Like, what are you never deleting from your hard drive?
I have the Master Chief collection from Halo, but
Oh
that's just
hell
because I
yeah,
love Halo as a franchise.
hell yeah.
Uh Power World.
No, you shut the fuck up. Pow
No, I
World,
actually
really?
have Power World. Yeah, I fucking love Power World, dude. It's so fun.
I mean, I know that you have it installed because you guys were recently playing it, but at some point you don't see yourself uninstalling it at all.
No, never. As long as they keep coming out with content for this game, bro, I'm never uninstalling this. I will wait patiently for whatever. Uh, oh my God, what's the name of the studio?
For Power World, I don't
Shit,
know. I don't
a
know.
Pocket Pal? I think Pocket Pal or something like that.
Let's call it Pocket Pal.
Oh man, I'm gonna feel like shit for this. Hold on, I'll look it up. Pocket Pair, sorry.
Pocket
Pocket
Pair.
Pair. Anything they put out for this game, bro, I'm playing it day one.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, tabletop simulator, man. That's really cool. That
Yeah,
again, like a lot of the like to bring up the subject, a lot of those games, board games that you were telling me about, they sound, and I'm sure they are very expensive to get in
yes.
real life. So that's where tabletop simulator like comes in clutch, you know?
100%. Yeah. Yeah. I'll talk about it later because that's the only game I've been playing really this week. So
Mhm.
I'll glaze all over it later on. So, um,
Excellent.
but yeah, for now, let's get to the download. So these are the game and hardware updates of note for this week so far. Number one, Nintendo Switch 2. I'm sorry. Let me start over. Nintendo's Switch 2 console has shattered US launch records. Released on June 5th, it sold over 1.1 million units in its first week, which ended June 7th, 2025. And that's not counting My Nintendo Store sales. This makes it the fastest selling console launch ever in the US, surpassing the PlayStation 4's previous record and highlighting immense excitement for the new Nintendo hardware. Circana also reported that 79% of US buyers snagged a copy of Mario Kart World, either solo or in a bundle. That game led the charge for physical sales, followed by Cyberpunk 2077 and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Oscar, you and Tanya contributed to that record, as well as the
See,
Mario Kart sales. How does this news strike you? Are you surprised at all?
no, honestly, no. The hype around the console was pretty big, so it doesn't surprise me that they would sell this many within the first what was it, the first 24 hours? I think, or was
That's
it the first week?
it says the first week, but that's a point that I wanted to bring up is that it released on June 5th and that week
Mhm.
ended June 7th. So it's basically 2 days.
Yeah. Damn. That's still a lot in that short amount of time. But no, it doesn't surprise me at all. There was always going to be hype around, despite like the negative backlash for all the shitty things that Nintendo does. The rightful backlash, like the hype for the hardware is still there, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, it entangled me. So I got two, one for me and one for my wife. Um,
Also, I'm assuming you got two copies of Cart, right?
Nine. I only got one.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, I only got one copy of Mario Kart.
How does that work? Like, can you both play together still?
Yeah, we just play co-op, um, couch co-op.
Ah.
So we'll play side by side. We've been doing like uh, the Knockout Tour and the Grand Prix. In fact, I don't even think we touched the Grand Prix. I think we just play Knockout Tour the whole time, or play online.
Wait, does that mean that she can play on her console, or are you guys just playing on one console with multiple controllers?
One console, multiple controllers. That's
Okay,
actually a
just
gripe
making
that I
sure.
have with the game. To go on a small rant, the game doesn't have game share.
Yeah, that
Which,
was a big selling point for Switch, wasn't it?
yeah, like it's so weird to me that Mario Kart of all games would not have game share. Like to share the game experience with other like players on their consoles. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Huh.
Yeah, it's very very strange. That was kind of a bummer, and the fact that you can't do free roam as split screen either. That's also a bummer.
Okay, I got you. So you would actually need that second copy if you were gonna, you know,
Yeah.
open world it together, right?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's
Gotcha.
quite the bummer. But other than that, the experience with the game has been pretty solid, and the experience with the Switch 2 has been pretty good as well. Um, Honestly, Tears of the Kingdom doesn't surprise me either because I think that's getting a free, well, not a free, it is getting a free upgrade, but I think for the NSO users and for non NSO users, I think it's only just $10, but it's I don't know if that's people replaying the game or if that's people playing the game for the first time. Either way, I think that's really exciting because then people just get to experience the magic that is Tears of the Kingdom. Like one of my favorite games on the Switch.
Yeah, the game fucking ruled, man. Like I wasn't a huge fan of Breath, but
Hmm.
when I don't even remember exactly what it was. I put plenty of time into it. I finished the story and everything. I didn't do the
Hmm.
DLC, which I
Hmm.
should eventually get around to, but I think it was the ending that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. It was just kind of so anticlimactic, that
Yeah.
ending. And when it came to Tears of the Kingdom, that that whole final stretch of the game in terms of story was so well done that
Hmm.
like I was fucking hyped for that final fight, and it was so good. It made me feel really great. And I love the fact that you can just keep exploring the world and everything because there's so much shit to find. um, yeah, loved it, loved it. Tears is awesome. So I'm sure plenty of people are discovering it for the first time. So that kind of goes back to our earlier to that thing that we brought up earlier, the discovery of the year. If this is
Hmm.
your first time playing Tears, I would love to hear. I'm sure you would too. We would love to hear exactly what you think about Tears of the Kingdom. If this is the first time you're playing it ever and you have a Switch 2, yo, sound off in the fucking comments. I want to hear what you think about it so far. How is it playing on Switch 2? You had it on the Switch, so if you wanted to get that Switch 2 upgrade, was it $10? You said?
Yeah, but since I have the expansion pass, I got it for free. I already have it
Uh,
downloaded and like ready to go.
are you thinking about playing it again?
Absolutely.
Oh, dude, gotta
Yeah,
hear about it.
that's
Gotta hear about it.
that's probably what me and the lady are gonna do together. We have Breath of the Wild loaded up. We're gonna start from the beginning.
Oh, dude, that's so cool, man. That's so cool. Very exciting. Very exciting.
Absolutely, Tony. You should get a Switch too, man.
I'd like to. One of these days, I would very much like to. gotta gotta convince the missus, and I gotta save up a little bit. But yeah, it's definitely on my wish list.
I
Believe
gotta
me.
ask my wife.
I gotta ask I gotta walk up to her with my feet kind of like, pointing at each other, and my fingers pointed at each other, and I'd be, hey, honey, can I get a Switch 2, please?
And then she smacks you in the back of the head. Like, what the hell is wrong with you?
With a fucking rolling pin, like one of those
Yeah.
old fashioned.
Yeah, she's in an apron. Smacks you in the back of the head with like a fuck, what a dusted up rolling pin.
It's like, what did I tell you, Tony? Yeah,
We
not
can't afford it.
we can't afford it. Yeah, dude, absolutely. Um,
That's grand.
But yeah, I love that the articles all say that it dropped on the 5th. I know that I just broke that up. That I just brought that up a second ago, but they all say it dropped on the 5th, which was a Thursday, and then quote unquote by the end of the week, which is literally 2 days later, it sold over 1 million units. Like that's cool. That got me curious to check out how much of a week the PS4 had under the same logic. So when
Hmm.
I looked it up, the PS4 released November 15th, 2013, which was a Friday. Um,
Whoa.
so it, so if we stick to that same logic, the PS4 only had one day, whereas the Switch had 2 days. So
Hmm.
that's just where my brain went. I thought it was important to point out for anyone who might want to debate PS4 versus Switch 2 numbers. Um, but yeah, the other thing that this made me think of is like, okay, so this says that Mario Kart World sold about 800,000 copies so far in the United States.
Damn.
Yeah, because these were US numbers. They said was like 1.1 million units, and 79% of those people bought fucking Mario Kart World. So that's about 800,000 or so units.
Damn,
And
dude. Is that
but
like
that's
physical media or digital?
I think it's a cop. I think it's both. I think it's both.
Oh, okay.
Wait, hold on. Physical sales. It says physical sales.
God damn.
So
Nintendo's getting their money their money's worth. Holy hell.
yeah, yeah. So I'm not even surprised in the least that this is the console's best selling game so far. Mario Kart is that's a console seller. Like, that's
Hmm.
just what it is. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not surprised at all. I'd love to play that one day. It looks amazing. All right, number two, a next gen update for Minecraft is scheduled for release on June 17th, 2025. It promises to, well, that's today, actually. I'll
That's
be god,
today, yeah.
I'll be goddamn. It promises to replace all 3,000 textures with physically based rendering materials, which I'm not entirely sure what that is,
Mhm.
optimizing the game for ray tracing and path tracing, and aiming for a more realistic visual experience on Xbox Series S and X, PS5, and PC Bedrock Edition. Um, yeah, I don't know. Just about everyone on planet Earth has played this game by now. I'd be
Uh,
shocked. I'd be shocked to hear that you haven't. If you haven't, does a graphical upgrade make your loins ache for this game?
make your loins ache. uh, that's funny. Uh, I guess
Have you played Minecraft?
I haven't played it recently. So like my thing with this is like maybe they did it so that people wouldn't have to download mods to get like the ray tracing experience. And in the I watched the trailer. In the trailer they said that it is an option that you can turn on and off. But I feel like, and not to like down credit any of the work that the Mojang team does, but like I feel like all this hard work could have gone to something more for Minecraft. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
I
Like
mean, kind of.
more more content besides like a graphical update, because I don't think that's people's main complaint of the game. I think the main complaint is that it just runs. The last time I played it, the game ran like shit, and there, you have to really tweak the settings to get it to just perform. You know?
Really, I thought this plays pretty well even on the fucking iPhones and shit. No?
Hmm.
Hmm.
I don't know if I'm like playing the wrong version of Minecraft, but my version like really struggled to run on my computer.
Maybe you got too many fucked up mods in there or something.
I don't use mods. I was playing the base game.
I have no idea then. Holy shit, I
I
don't know.
probably
I
just had a shitty computer.
yeah,
Not the
upgrade that
time.
bitch.
But yeah, I don't know how to feel about this, honestly.
I don't know. I
I
just
don't.
think I think it's funny to have the words Minecraft and realistic so close to each other.
Yeah, that kind of. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. It because like it's not supposed to be realistic, you know. It's Minecraft.
Right. What does realistic Minecraft look like? The movie, maybe?
Yeah. Why would you want it to be realistic?
I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. Have Jack Black like skin for your character in there. Steve.
I'm Steve.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know how to feel about this, but if anyone is well versed in this new next gen update, let us know what you're excited for.
Yeah, really, man. I mean, it's a free update, so that's
Mhm.
cool, right?
That
And
is nice, yeah.
I mean, I'm sitting here joking and saying pretty much that ray tracing in Minecraft is as important as ray tracing in like I don't know Undertale, but you know,
Mhm.
I can
That
see
would be
the
crazy.
I can see that.
That would be crazy. Could you imagine
Oh, dude, that'd be
hyper
so funny.
realistic Undertale?
I mean,
You have a whole orchestra for the music, the soundtrack of the game.
I've never played Undertale. I heard that it is actually pretty dope though.
Yeah.
I do mean to get around to that one of these days.
Again, I just really like the music.
Yeah. Hey, that
Yeah,
matters.
maybe there's just something I'm missing with this Minecraft update, but please change my mind. I would love
Yeah.
my mind to be changed about it.
Yeah. Our boy Pat, he likes to play Minecraft once in a while, so maybe he'll have something to say about it. We'll have to ask him.
Yeah. Um,
Number what's up?
did you
Go
want me
ahead.
to read this next one?
Yeah, sure, go for it. Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Number 3. Hitman World of Assassination is getting a new patch on June 17th, 2025. Again, today. uh, the update from IO Interactive introduces a new elusive target starring Mads Mikkelsen as how the fuck do you pronounce that?
Le Chiffre.
Le Chiffre?
Yep.
Villain from 007 movie Casino Royale. Fresh content and features specifically for PS VR2, plus the usual quality of life improvements and bug squashes. Excellent. Um, Tony, I've never played a Hitman game before, and I have no experience in them. Have you?
No, I've wanted to play these games since the third one dropped a few years ago.
Mhm,
Um, I just remember being really confused at the buy screen because there was a bunch of additional shit that I probably thought was already in the package, so I scared
mhm,
myself out, you know.
mhm,
Because they came up with this world of assassination thing,
mhm.
and when I went to go buy it, there was just so many extra pieces, and I was just like, how much of this is actually incorporated into this one package, and I couldn't figure it out, so I just kind of backed away. But Casino Royale was the first Mads Mikkelsen movie I'd seen back when it first released, and then Chelsea and I loved him as Hannibal Lecter. He's such a great actor. Um,
Mhm.
he very quickly became one of our favorite actors to look out for. So you could imagine my excitement when Kojima dropped a trailer showing that he was going to be in Death Stranding. That was
Death
so fucking cool,
Stranding.
man.
Hell yeah, that's cool.
But but yeah, this actually makes me want to play Hitman even more. I'm super excited for IO's Bond game, and this is such a cool idea to whet the appetite for more 007 content from these guys later on.
Yeah,
Also, for anyone out there who has played Hitman World of Assassination in VR, I'm really curious how it stacks up. Let me know. Sounds like it would be really cool.
sounds like a good time. I've seen gameplay of Hitman before. It looks really chaotic, really
Yeah,
funny. Looks like there's a lot of fun stuff you can like set up.
yeah, and I think that's the thing, you know, is that you can approach it in any way that you want, and there's just so much freedom of choice when it comes to this is your target, this is what you have to do to them, and you figure out how to go about it, or something like that. I really want
Mhm.
to play it.
Plan out your murder and your escape.
Yeah, but I need to figure out the package, because if you have a moment at some point during the stream, you should go to either Steam or Epic and open up World of Assassination and tell me I'm not fucking crazy, please, because I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on the whole time.
Oh
So
yeah, because the game is like $5. Well,
right,
$6.
like it's very cheap, and I'm like, wait, what is this? What? And
Oh, it's
then
because it's on
there's
sale.
oh, is it? What are you
Yeah,
looking at? Steam? Are you looking at Steam?
yeah, it's on sale right now for like 80% off.
Holy fuck! All right, don't let me forget that.
Hell.
All right. Let me jump over to the next one since you had nothing you haven't seen a bunch of James Bond movies or any of that stuff either, right?
Nah.
I'd recommend, at least for me, cuz I grew up with Pierce Brosnan
Mhm.
as my James he's my James Bond. I know it was him, and then what's his name recently? God damn it. What's his name? Daniel something? God damn it.
I actually wouldn't know.
Who is Bond? I ask.
It's fun.
let's see. Let's see what Google Gemini says to me. It's like it's thinking super hard. Who is Bond?
Super
Daniel.
hard.
Fuck. What's his name? Daniel something, right? Something Daniel
Daniel
maybe.
Craig.
Daniel Craig. That sounds right. Daniel Craig. It's got to be Daniel Craig. I think you're right.
Hold on. Hold on. James. Who is the
Daniel
latest
Craig.
James Bond?
Daniel Craig. Fuck you. Yes, you're
Wow,
right.
actually,
Yeah.
holy
You
shit.
son of a bit. The fucking AI is
Wow.
still thinking. But I
How
asked
did
it
I
such
know
a
that?
because I don't know. Daniel Craig. Daniel Craig. So his movies are awesome, and his first one, Casino Royale, not only did it introduce Mads Mikkelsen as the Bond villain, Le
Mhm.
Chiffre, that you get to kill in this little Hitman update, but also the opening uh what do you call it, the opening music video, I'm gonna call it, for every
Mhm.
Bond movie was all that's always a big deal too. Who's gonna be the Bond villain, who's gonna be the Bond girl, and who's gonna do the fucking theme song for the movie. And
Mhm.
guess who did the theme song for that movie? My boy, my number one most favorite rock and roll uh audio fucking vocalist ever.
Chris Cornell?
Yes.
Oh. I'm
I knew
two
it.
for two.
I knew you knew me, bro. Yeah, you are 2 for 2. I knew you knew me. So yeah, and
Damn, that's sick.
it's actually a really good song too. I like that song. It's called "You Know My Name." Good song, Chris Cornell. Check it out. All right,
Good shit.
let's go over to our PC specific area here. I wanted to throw these in there. Uh, Ludion Studios, I'm sure that's how you say it, has
Mhm.
confirmed that their hit game, RimWorld, is set to receive significant new content. An update expansion will be accompanied by a large free update for the base game version 1.6, bringing substantial performance enhancements, quality of life upgrades, improved base design tools, caravan refinements, increased map variety, flying chickens, and more. While no release date was provided, players can access and test the unstable 1.6 build now by joining the RimWorld official development Discord. But yeah, I just wanted to throw a shout out to this game since it's been on my Steam wish list for a long time, and it came highly recommended after I played the fuck out of the Steam version of Dwarf Fortress. And I know I talked your
Mhm.
ear about I know I talked your ear off about this. Um, and it said that they're very similar in the ways that matter, but that Rim World is much easier to get the hang of. And oh, and it takes place in outer space, so that immediately perked my ears up. Yeah,
Good.
I don't know if this is something that you have any interest in, but I remember talking to you about Dwarf Fortress. I remember you laughing your ass off the stories I was telling you. Apparently, RimWorld is so much it's more user friendly, I think, because Dwarf Fortress is super super deep in terms of I had to watch multiple videos telling like teaching me how to play that game before I could figure it out. And if I went back to it now, I'd have no idea what the fuck I was doing. So RimWorld apparently isn't that bad, but it's very good. It has overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, and it came very highly recommended. So I wanted to throw a shout out to RimWorld. I might buy that sometime soon. I really want to. Um, did you have anything to say about that? I'm not sure.
No, I was gonna ask you if you were trying to get into the beta.
No, no, because I haven't even played the original version yet, so I wouldn't know what the fuck. I wouldn't know what was right and what was wrong, what felt off. This feels right. I'd have very little input to that. So it's just been on my
Gotcha.
wish list forever.
Yeah, I
Um,
have no words for this one. I'm just looking forward to the crazy stories you're gonna tell me about it. Because the stories you told me about Dwarf Fortress sounded so funny.
yeah, dude.
They were
And this is
so
the
funny.
this is like the same thing, but like out in space, and yeah, just more user friendly. So it sounds like it's way up my alley. I definitely want to check this out sometime. Um,
Beautiful.
Number two, a surprise has emerged for the community of BattleBit Remastered, the massive multiplayer first person shooter. After 18 months of complete silence, the three-person indie development team behind the game has released a teaser trailer for what appears to be a major update, Operation Overhaul. This unexpected announcement is being met with a healthy dose of skepticism from many players who had long presumed the game was abandoned, evidenced by
Mhm.
comments such as, quote, been waiting so long for this that I forgot the game even existed. End
I'm in the
quote.
same boat. I'd forgotten it even existed, bro.
Yeah, dude, I brought it up because the first time I heard about it was from our old coworker, Quentin. Remember
Mhm.
Quentin? Q? Uh,
Yes.
yeah, and when I looked it up back then, it was considered to be excellent. Battlefield style gameplay, over 200 players per server. What's it called when you can only hear and talk to the guys in your immediate surroundings?
Oh, shit. Proximity chat.
Yes, proximity
Yes.
chat. Thank you. Uh, just about everything is destructible. It just sounded awesome. I I guess it's been having a lot of glitch ass bugs, man. A lot of glitch ass bugs. It's been having a lot of problems. The devs have been radio silent for over a year. I just thought this was interesting and that I'd throw it out there for anyone who still might give a shit. Um,
Oh,
I wonder if this will bring the game back in any way. I don't know.
I hope so. It looks
Yeah,
pretty fun to play.
yeah. You've seen the trailers and stuff for it. It looks really fun.
Yeah, it looks like old Call of Duty, like Modern Warfare 2, like 2007 version Call of Duty.
Yeah,
Maybe actually more like Battlefield actually.
yeah. Definitely more like Battlefield. 200 plus. I don't remember the exact number, but 200 something players per
No
server.
fucking way.
Crazy, dude.
What?
Like, yeah,
That's crazy.
100 something versus 100 something. Yeah, all kinds. Dude, it sounds so fun. And the way that Quentin was telling me about it, it just he was like, dude, it's hilarious. It's the only game he played. So I haven't seen him in so long, so I don't know if he still plays it or if he would be one of the people that gives a shit about this. But yeah,
Mhm.
I think that's cool. Did you want to kick us off with the release radar? You can do June 16th.
Yes, all right, ladies and gentlemen, trying to get into time to get into the release radar. These are games releasing this week that either interest us, or the audience. First off, we got here June 16th, which was yesterday, Monday. Gex Trilogy, limited run games in collaboration with Crystal Dynamics, who made the originals. Um, is $29.99 digital, $39.99 physical, and it is coming to PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and the Nintendo Switch. Um, Goofy looking game. I've never played Gex, but it looks goofy as hell.
Yeah,
June 17th, which is today. Sorry, were you going to say something, Tony?
yeah. I was gonna ask you if did you see that one physical edition that came with a blow up doll of the gecko?
No, I remember you telling me about that, but I never saw it.
Yeah, there's a
Okay.
physical edition. It comes with a blow up doll, and I'm just like, what were they thinking, dude? That's so fucking crazy.
That's going in a jar.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no.
It's gonna have to be a really big jar. It's gonna take a long time to fill that fucker up.
All
Uh,
right.
all right,
Gotta
go
gotta
ahead.
commission mason jars for that one. All right. June 17th, today, FBC
Yes,
Firebreak by Remedy. Comes to PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S. $39.99 for the standard edition. Uh, it is also available on PS Plus and Game Pass.
that's
I
cool.
assume.
I
Go ahead.
go. No, I was gonna say that I'd love to check this game out with you guys if I can, but I loved Control. I loved both Alan Wake games. I'd really love to support Remedy for the awesome work that they do. But this morning
Mhm.
I was looking around and I'm seeing pretty terrible reviews for this. Like,
No.
but yeah, but the thing that stands out to me is that on Steam, like they're currently sitting on Steam. The last time I checked this morning, at
Hmm.
mostly negative reviews, and a lot of the reviews are saying that this game is lacking content. But those reviews, most of the ones that I saw, mind you, say that they've only played about an hour of the game, and I'm just like, have you really seen enough of the game to make that claim? I don't know.
Hmm.
Some other website websites have put out their reviews and kind of gave the same feedback, so that's where I kind of believe it. So this was gonna be a buy. I was gonna buy this game today, but I'm definitely gonna, kind of hold my horses and chill out and relax. And I don't know, if you have PS Plus or Game Pass, maybe check it out. But, if it comes with your subscription, but otherwise, maybe hold off, even though the $40 standard edition price point sounds good. Maybe hold
Hmm.
off. Maybe hold off. I don't know. Sounds like
I'm
they
seeing here
need some
on
work.
Steam that the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's all I have to say. It seems like it needs some work. That's it.
A little more time in the oven.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I see of the positive comments, but I see mostly all the negative comments. Like these people have less than an hour of playtime.
Right. So that kind of makes me wonder, like, have you seen enough of the game to really make that claim that it needs more content? Like, have you seen all the content that this game has to offer in less than an hour? I seriously doubt it.
Yeah,
I
there's
don't.
no way. Yeah,
But I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll probably wait for this one then.
Yeah. Me too.
See
Me
how
too.
how it is in a couple months.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. I believe also coming out today, Date Everything by Sassy Chap Games, coming to PC, Xbox Series S and X, PS5, Switch. 29.99 for the standard edition. I checked
Have
out
you
the trailer for this game.
I was gonna say, dude, I really hope you saw
It looks so weird.
that.
I don't know what to say, but it looks like really funny at the same time. But it's like I guess the whole concept of the game is like you can date everything in your house, like your fucking dishwasher, your
Yeah.
your garbage can.
Yeah.
I was flabbergasted to say the least. I didn't know what to say, but yeah, if anyone's playing this game, tell us about it, please, because man, I was gobsmacked watching that.
Yeah, dude. I thought it sounded like such a funny idea. I'd really like to check this one out, whether I play it myself or watch someone else play it. But
Yeah.
30
Um,
bucks, 30 bucks, not bad.
yeah, it'll be a fun one to see reviews of.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
All right, the next one. Same thing, June 17th. 17th. Tron Catalyst by, is that Byleth or Bith? Or no, Bithell. Bithell Games, Byleth.
I thought it was maybe BitHell. BitHell games?
Oh,
I
is
don't
it
know.
is it Bithell?
I have no idea.
I see Bithell.
Bithell. Call it Bithell.
I'm calling it Bithell.
You can't
Coming to
you
PC.
did this to yourselves.
I'm sticking to my guns. It's Bithell Games. Coming to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch for $24.99.
Beautiful. Yeah, I got nothing for that, but I heard that that might actually be a really big one for the audience. A lot of people are really looking forward to this game. They really like the last Tron game, so cool for you guys. It doesn't really speak to me. What about you? Do you have any fucks to give for Tron Catalyst?
Tron is what's the word I'm looking for? As a series, I've never really been too into it, but to be fair, I've never like really delved deep into Tron. Um, I couldn't figure out if this game was a roguelite or if it was like a Diablo clone.
Hmm.
because it's got like that top-down style of gameplay.
You're right. Yeah.
Um, but if it's anything like Diablo, I'd be willing to give it a shot. I love those types of games.
Right on.
I
Right
actually
on.
don't know what are they called? What is that style of gameplay called?
In terms of camera situating, I would
Yeah,
say
because
asymmetrical, maybe.
yeah, because you know when I say roguelite, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like you get like certain games and like like a play style in your head. And
No,
it's the
yeah,
same thing with Diablo, but like what is that style of game called?
no. Diablo, as far as I know, is not a roguelite kind of
No,
game.
no.
That like they have
But
handcrafted dungeons and everything, but like if you're talking about camera perspective, I think that's asymmetrical. That's my understanding of it. I might be wrong. It's kind of like it's almost like an eagle eye view, but kind of tilted to the back a little bit. You know, you can zoom in, you can zoom out, but it's always going to be. It's never going to be third person right over your shoulder or first person
yeah,
right in your eyes, kind of thing.
I guess it's
So
an action RPG.
yeah, I don't know, man.
Guess I guess the word I'm looking for is what genre of game would be Diablo?
Looter. I think that was one of the original Looter games.
Yeah,
Um,
right.
yeah, Looter something. It's definitely not a
Oh,
looter shooter.
a dungeon crawler. That sounds more like it.
Okay, dungeon crawler, looter. Fuck you.
A looter dungeon crawler. We'll go with
Looter
that.
dungeon crawler. Yes, I like that. All right, keep going, brother.
All right, June 19th, we got Rito Remastered: The Mystery of the Soulless Army by Atlas Games. Coming to
Mm,
PC, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One. Jesus Christ, this thing's coming out on everything. Switch and
everything.
Switch 2 for
Yeah.
49.99.
Yeah, this was
Um,
another one that was highly highly anticipated by the audience, by people out there in the world.
mhm.
I have no concept of this game whatsoever. I know Atlas. Are they the ones that made Persona, or am
Yes,
I
Persona, Shin Megami Tensei.
okay? So was this one of their earlier games, Raito?
It seems like it since it's a remaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, let
So
me see when the original came out.
so this could be a
Right.
huge win for those folks. Anybody that really wants them some more Atlas games. Dude,
If
that's awesome. Remastered, and it's coming to basically fucking every console and PC.
all
50
right,
bucks.
if I'm correct, it came out in 2006 for the PlayStation 2.
Oh shit. Yeah. So
Yeah,
this is
so it's been a long time.
oh, I'm sure there's people out there that are losing their fucking minds over this then. That's awesome, man. Good for them.
Yeah, this is a game that I want to play. It looks pretty cool. I like Atlas games.
Hell yeah, dude.
Okay. Do you want to take the reins for the freebie forecast?
Hell yeah, dude. Let's do it.
Let-
Free this week on Epic Game Store is 2 Point Hospital by 2 Point Studios. It says design stunning hospitals, cure peculiar illnesses, and manage troublesome staff as you spread your budding healthcare organization across 2 Point County. End quote. Um, I obviously grabbed up 2 Point Hospital. I'll definitely check it out. I really like management games from time to time, and
Mhm,
this one seems goofy as hell, which I'm all about. They also seem to have one for a college campus, like 2 Point Campus. I'm pretty sure it's called. And if I'm not mistaken, they have a new one for a museum, either coming soon or it just came out. So 2 Point Museum is either out or coming out. I don't know,
mhm.
but I really appreciate their humor. I definitely want to check this one out. It has great reviews. People seem to really love it. Did you add this to your library on Epic Game Store? I know before you say so that you don't really fuck with Epic, but one of these days I think you're gonna install it because I'll convince you of it. So,
I tried to last week with Play Night, the program that you told me about, but I never got around to like setting it up properly.
oh well, you need to have an Epic Game Store login first. You need to have that first. You can't just do everything through Play Night. You have to log into Epic. You have to log into Steam. You have to have
Hmm.
libraries, and then you go over to Play Night. You log into those specific um, applications. Like you have to log into Steam through Play Night, and then you have to log into Epic through Play Night, and then your libraries will transfer over.
Mm. Oh yeah, I'll have to figure out my login for the Epic Game Store then.
Okay,
Got to re-download it.
gotcha. All right, now we're gonna move on over to what we're playing. Oscar, it says here you're finally playing Clair Obscur. So, did you want to tell me about that a little bit?
Yes. Um, Let me see. So Clair Obscur. I love the music so far. I think I've stated that. Maybe I haven't in a previous video. The music's pretty good. That's probably that's like the one thing that I notice most in games is the music. That's the thing that really sticks with me.
Fuck yeah.
Um, Story's very somber, very sad. Like everything's just collapsing around you at all times, and it just continues to get worse and worse. You know, there's little moments where things are starting to look on the up and up, but things are just pretty drab. You know, combat system's pretty fun. Uh, I I will say a little confusing at first, but that's probably just me. But I am starting to get the hang of it. I'm like speeding up. I love the parry mechanic, bro. I don't even dodge in that game. Like you have a dodge button that gives you a couple extra frames to like not take damage when enemies attack you, but I don't use that shit. I go for the I go balls to the walls and try to like perfect parry everything, bro. I'll take the damage, I don't care. Um Love the parry mechanic because it gives you like an AP skill, but at the end of it if you manage to parry all the attacks, um you do like a counter move that just does it's an immense amount of damage to the enemy that's attacking you, and it's so satisfying. Um, Enemy designs are really cool. It has an overworld, which took me by surprise. Um, like a classic RPG overworld where your characters like shrink and like it kind of looks like a board game almost.
Oh no shit.
You have to like navigate.
That's
That threw me
awesome.
off. I was like, "Holy shit, this is cool!" But it's all like rendered in 3D and like it has the Unreal Engine like cool effects and shit. You can fight enemies out in the. It's not like random encounter. Like you have to walk up to the enemy and start the encounter.
That's really
Um,
cool. I wasn't expecting that.
yeah, I'm loving the game so far. It's really fun, and it's actually even like captured the interest of my wife. She's like watching me play as I'm playing it because she loves the story so far. She says it's like watching a movie.
Do you guys have favorite characters yet?
Um, Out of the bunch, I've only got 3 members of my party so far.
Yeah, so out of those three, who do you like the most? Plant a
Think
flag,
I
motherfucker.
I think I like Gustav the best. He's the only one that sticks out in my mind, and I like Gustav because his playstyle is very straightforward. He just does big damage. He builds up to big damage, and so far he's the only character that I can use consistently to stun lock, not stun lock, to stun enemies like with the break bar.
Hmm.
Um, with his one move that just does an immense amount of damage. I love it. um, but yeah, Gustav would probably be my favorite. I don't know if my wife has a favorite yet. I'd have to ask her. I think I'm still relatively at the beginning of the game though. I've only gotten through maybe like 2 parts of the world. I'm on the third part where it's like a bunch of people that have played the game will probably know where I'm at and they'll know where I'm in the game story wise. But like I just got to like the gestural village, I think, where I'm looking for the gestural village, but I got to the place where the red trees are. But so far, I'm absolutely loving the game. And that's you know what? That's enough out of me because I could keep going for hours. I'll switch it over to you, bud. What are you playing?
Well, I'm I'm just basically gonna glaze Tabletop Simulator for another minute or so. You
Mhm.
know, um, I finished a solo co-op playthrough of that board game Nemesis I mentioned last time.
Mm.
It took me some time to find my bearings within the simulator and figure out how to navigate the board and the pieces, but once I got the hang of it, the game itself played fucking wonderfully. Um,
Cool.
I lost, by the way,
Uh-huh.
fucking bad, but it all worked the way it was supposed to. Both of my characters got fucking bodied, but it was super fun, you know.
Yes.
So, um, the in terms of Nemesis, the story goes. I'm gonna go by my notes here. It says you wake up from hypersleep on a spaceship called the Nemesis. There's a
Mm.
dead body of one of your crewmates in the room with you, and you basically go from room to room. You explore, you loot, you try to complete your personal objective before either abandoning the ship in an escape pod or you hunker down for the hyper jump, which comes at the end of
Mm.
the game. So from memory here, when you go from room to room, you have to roll the dice for a noise check, and whatever number you roll, you put a noise marker on the corresponding corridor. So if a second noise marker hits that same corridor, it triggers an encounter with one of the alien intruders.
Mm.
Um, the rooms, how much loot is in them, where they're placed, whether or not they're functioning or on fire at all of that's randomized every time you play. So the only ones that are really static are the engine rooms, the cockpit, and the hypersleep chamber.
Mm.
Sorry, everything else changes every playthrough. Um, your objective might be to find the nest and escape with an egg, or make sure you're the only one who gets off the ship alive. You
Mm.
know, so as much fun as I had playing solo, it would probably be way better playing in a group. So I'm really looking forward to maybe playing that with you guys at some point. I'm currently in a second playthrough trying out two different characters. The first time I went with the pilot and the mechanic. This time I'm using the scout and the scientist. Each
Mm.
character has their own unique benefits, so it's pretty much encouraged to try them all out at some point.
Yeah.
Um, there's also a bunch of expansions that add playable characters, new types of intruders. So far, I've found all of them in Tabletop Simulator. So it has all of this shit. And I've even looked up multiple games from my childhood, like a game called Nightmare that my mother would play with us, where you would pop in a VHS tape of the gatekeeper guy who looks like Darth Sidious, and he talks to you and he tells you what to do while you play the game. And even that game is in here complete with the fucking video. It's insane.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then there was this other one, 13 Dead End Drive. That was a game I always wanted as a kid. I don't know exactly how you play it, but from my understanding, you explore a mansion. And
Uh-huh.
but like the thing that drew my child eyes to it was the fact that there were physical pieces on the board that represent traps, like a chandelier that'll fall on your character and shit like that.
Mm.
Like physically, there's a physical little chandelier that you hit a thing, and the chandelier falls on your character and it kills them or whatever. That fucking game is in here, fully functional.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy,
Damn.
man.
You can
It's
find anything on there.
Dude, so far I've yet to stump it. The only thing that I don't want to say I stumped it, but I
Mm.
found Mousetrap. Like
Nah.
yeah, dude, the OG 1940s fucking edition of it, 1960s. I don't know when Mousetrap came out, but somebody scanned all the assets into the game, and it looks legit as fuck. But this person said in the comments, they're just like, "Hey, I uploaded all the stuff, but I don't know how to animate it, so it doesn't function. Like
Ah.
you can't put the marble in the thing and watch it go crazy or whatever." So he's
Yeah.
like, please, if somebody out there knows how to do it, here you go. And then some other asshole was just like, hey, I have a complete fucking version of Mousetrap, but it's some version that they created that's based around the DJ Deadmau5. And
What the fuck?
and I I know it was
That's
so
funny.
fucking weird. And the top comment that I saw on that one was like, dude, can you maybe uh can you maybe create a version of this that isn't Dead Mouse, because this is the only functioning version of Mousetrap out there. So thank you. You know.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah, I thought that was hilarious, but um I I don't know. I want to jump back to you because at this point I'm afraid I won't shut the fuck up. It
Mhm.
says here that you played a little bit of Tick. I'm sorry. It Takes Two
Yes.
With Tanya. Do you have anything to say about that? Me and Chelsea have been playing that. We were playing a lot of that on the PS4, and we played a little bit more on the PS5, and it definitely
Mm,
does play a little better on the PS5.
mm.
Where did you guys play it, and do you have any thoughts on it so far?
Dude, it's so fun. We played on the PlayStation, and we had played it before. I don't remember when, but we got pretty far. At least I think I'm far. I don't know how deep we are into the game, but we've got to be like close to the end.
Bullshit.
Um,
I real quick, I just want to jump in and say that Chelsea and I, we thought we were really far in, and we it turned out we were halfway in. We're currently at the snow globe, if that makes sense to you, without spoiling anything.
mm,
Have
no,
Have you come
I,
across the snow globe?
I'm at the clock tower.
Okay, you're in the level right before us then. I think you're next
Yes.
going. Okay, cool. So
Wait.
okay, so you're about halfway through.
Whoa, dude, this game goes on forever.
It's
But
so good.
it's not a bad thing. It's actually really fun because it kind of incorporates a bunch of different like gameplay styles and mechanics. Like the level before the clock tower, we were like I was a mage and Tanya was like uh a knight with like a flaming sword, and like we had it was kind of like a Diablo style like it was so cool, and we were like fighting little knights in like a castle and like solving puzzles and shit at the same time, dude. I love this game. It's so fun.
Yeah,
But
100%, man.
yeah, dude, it's so fun. We're having a blast with it. Yeah, we played a lot last night. We were in I can't remember the name of the girl. I think her name is Sophie. We were in Sophie's room,
Yeah.
and then we were like trying to get to the castle, and then yeah, we did the castle, and then I think the castle took us to shit, where did we end up after the castle? I think it was yeah, and then we went to the clock tower. Yeah, because now we're like playing with like the watches, where like I can control time because I'm playing as the dude, and Tanya can make clones because she has the like the digital watch. I have like a pocket watch.
Yeah, dude, that
Yeah,
I remember what I really loved about that game is that as soon as you really get used to a certain game mechanic, it just kind of flips the script on you and it gives you some brand
yeah,
new mechanics. I love that. I love that.
yeah.
Have you guys toyed around with any of the little the mini games?
No, we've been blowing past them. We've been so focused on solving puzzles that we've just been blowing past them.
I got you. Yeah, dude, fucking there's so many. Like every section of the game. What about when you had to kill the the elephant? I think it was
The
an
elephant.
elephant. Oh, dude.
That was so twisted.
Yeah, dude, that was so fucked up, man. I hated that. I was like, these
Yeah,
people are terrible people. Terrible
yeah.
people.
And then it loses its ear and its leg,
That
and
poor
it's like,
bastard. Yeah,
please
dude,
don't do this.
that poor bastard.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
I
poor
love it.
elephant.
I'm glad you guys are playing it. That's such a great game. Such a great game. Um, Granted, we're not. I think we're a little more than halfway through, but
Mm.
we're not too far in. Like, there's still plenty of game left ahead of
Dang, bro.
us.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm probably gonna pick up Split Fiction after we're done with this one.
Oh yeah,
Because I believe that's the same studio.
It is. Yep. Yep. Haze
Yeah,
Light. Yep.
can't wait to play it. That game looks sick too. Split Fiction.
Yeah.
God, it looks so cool.
Yeah, from everything I've heard and read about that game, it's even better than It Takes Two, which I thought was fucking impossible. So I can't fucking wait to play that game.
That's so cool to hear.
Yeah. All right, let's move over to the rumor mill. These are the
Mhm.
biggest rumors and leaks that we could find this week. Excuse me.
Nice. Oh, nice.
Excuse the fuck out of me.
He's
On
been drinking that diet soda.
So, number one for the rumor mill on his recent Twitch stream, Rob Weethoff. I'm not entirely sure I'm pronouncing that correctly, but he's the
Oh,
voice. He's the voice behind John Marston in the Red Dead Redemption games. He teased what he called such exciting news that he cannot wait to share, confirming it'll be announced before Friday this week. He even said it's the only thing he could think about while playing the original Red Dead Redemption. So while Rockstar has been quiet, Weedhoff's clear enthusiasm strongly points to this being about the rumored Red Dead Redemption 2 next gen update and Switch 2 version, which are reportedly eyeing a late summer or early fall launch. Um, this one I can believe, especially
mhm,
since it's from a voice actor. I can't think of a time when a voice actor slipped up or said something like this and it wasn't true.
mhm, mhm.
Do you have any thoughts on this?
I've never played Red Dead 2. I played the
Uh,
first one, but I haven't gotten around to playing the second one. I own it, funnily enough, on
holy
on the
shit!
PlayStation.
Holy shit!
um, is in terms of the update, what what is the update exactly? Is it just
No,
like
it's
graphics
just a
update or?
rumor. It's just something that he teased during one of his what was it, a Twitch stream. So the
Mhm,
voice actor for John Marston, and he's in both games, he
mhm.
mentioned some crazy thing he's not allowed to talk about that's going to be announced before Friday this week. So yeah,
Before
so
Friday?
yeah, before Friday. So I mean, I can't personally think of anything else it could be if not the next gen update or Switch 2 version of Red Dead Redemption 2. Either way, I loved Red Dead 2 and I'd love to play it again, but if I ever do that, it'll be on the PS5 or the PC since my first time was with the PS4 and that motherfucker was chugging, dude, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think whatever, we'll find out more very soon if this is to be believed, but yeah, there's really not much to it. He dropped the fact that there's some exciting news, quote unquote, coming. That's it.
We'll probably have to play it soon then.
Oh, dude, if you've never played Red Dead 2, did you like Red Dead 1? Did you like
Yeah,
the old cowboy thing?
I loved it. It was one of my favorite games on the 360.
No shit.
Yeah,
Oh, dude, then what's stopping you from playing the second one? What the fuck?
pure pure laziness. It's just
Oh,
pure laziness. I have I don't know, I guess I just don't have that much of an interest in it.
oh, dude. Let me
It's
tell
hard
you,
it's
if you're ever like hurting for a game to play, you're like, I don't know what to play. Give Red Dead 2 a shot, especially if you like the first one. This one's a little more um it it has like very realistic animations where if you're going to go loot corpses, it's not just like click a button to loot a corpse and then your guy just stands there and all of a sudden you have something in your inventory. He actually like
Mhm,
pats them down and things like that. So it's a little more realistic in that sense and a lot of people were turned off by that. It
mhm.
seems a little more slow, but let me tell you dude, the story is amazing, the characters are amazing, the voice acting is amazing, and you'll pick up so many little tiny details that this game had no right to fucking just put out there to the world. Like, if you, for example, if you take the sun is like on the horizon or whatever, right? And you
Mhm.
and you kind of like motion your camera to put that behind your guy, your main character. His name is Arthur Morgan.
Uh,
You put the sun behind your guy, and you look at him dead on, and you'll see like his ears look almost translucent, and there's like red. His ears are all red and shit. It's like realistic
oh, that's
details
cool.
like that have no right to be in a video game are in this game. It's insane.
Hmm.
So good.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. So then my order is going to be Clair Obscur because I got to get that done.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I want to hear about
Stellar
that.
Blade, which we can talk about later on, and then I'll probably play Red Dead.
Yeah, Red Dead 2, like if you have a moment where it's just kind of like lulled and you're like, I don't know what to play. Check it out, please. Check it out. It's exceptional. So good. You can totally tell that all that Grand Theft Auto 5 money went into this game. It's such a great game, dude. You can see the budget in every moment. It's brilliant. What console do you have it on, or do you have it on the PC?
I have it on PlayStation 5.
Awesome. So in that case, I'll definitely want to hear how it plays.
Yeah, I'll definitely let you know, brother. But it'll be a while, so you'll have to wait a little bit.
All right, no problem. No problem at all. So moving on, number two. Do you want to do this one?
Sure.
I like
The
that. I
Witcher.
like that. I like
Oh,
that back. I like that back and forth shit. It's fun.
okay. I got you, bud. I can read the next couple.
All right, go ahead.
Alrighty. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. According to Polish, that's how I'm reading it, right? Polish podcasters, because it's capitalized. It's a proper noun. Polish
Yeah.
podcasters, Rock and Boris will be getting a third DLC potentially arriving in 2026. They said that it wouldn't be developed by CD Projekt Red, but rather by Fool's Theory, a studio founded by some former Witcher 3 developers. Rock and Boris also hinted at CD Projekt's release roadmap, stating that first we'll see console mods, then this new DLC for The Witcher 3, then The Witcher 4, and finally, the remake of the first Witcher game. Keep in mind, this is currently an unconfirmed rumor, so take it with a grain of salt. Fool's Theory is indeed confirming to be developing the Witcher 1 remake, lending some credibility to their involvement with other Witcher related projects. That sounds fucking sick.
Yeah. You ever get your Witcher on, Oscar? Like, if this is true, does it interest you at all?
I've never played Witcher.
Holy shit.
So my conundrum with this is which game do I even start with? Do I start with do I wait for the remake and play the first game, or do I start with the third or the fourth? Because I know with the third is technically like last gen, right?
I'm gonna be a little bit of a hypocrite here, and I'm gonna say start with 3 because that's what I did.
Okay.
Like, I'll tell you straight up. I remember when The Witcher 3 dropped, and it was the same year that Metal Gear 5 came out, so 2015.
Hmm.
Holy fuck, dude. We're coming up on Metal Gear Solid 5's 10-year anniversary this
Yeah, it's been a
sept. That's this September.
decade.
That's
It's a
when,
decade.
dude, I can't believe it. Holy
You
shit.
know, yeah, it's been a
Um,
long time, dude.
but I've never heard I've never heard of The Witcher before the third one, and
Ah,
it basically won every Game of the Year award from every fucking outlet there was, and I was like,
damn.
there's no way this game is better than Metal Gear Solid 5, so I refused to play it for so long, dude. But
Chip on the
I,
shoulder.
yeah, dude, dead ass. But I bought it on sale sometime later. I finally gave it a shot, and I was like, yo, this game fucking rules. Um, I loved the game. I loved the DLCs, especially Blood and Wine.
Ah,
There was a whole new map. The story was just funny as fuck, lighthearted throughout. A great time. Um, I I played that back on the PS4, and I have it now on Steam, but I haven't tried it out yet. But A new DLC would definitely give me a reason to play it again, and I would love that. Awesome game. I hope this is true.
Yeah, sounds like a lot of fun. I hope it's true as well. I'd love to get into The Witcher. I only hear good things about it.
But yeah, I don't think you have to play the first two games to thoroughly enjoy the third one. I wouldn't say wait until the fourth because the third one is so good, and especially if you get it on the PCs. Steam usually has pretty big sales going on. I got it for a couple of dollars, and
Mhm.
it's an exceptional game, especially if you like story rich, morality rich, like whether you want to do this or that. There's a lot of that going on. It's a pretty long game. There's a lot to do.
Dang.
If you jump into it and you see that original that first open world map, there's multiple. I just want to throw this out there. There are multiple open world maps in that game. And the first one, every time you do one thing, it seems like four other things pop up. So don't try to be a completionist. Just do what you want to do on the map, move on to the next one, and continue the story. It's excellent, dude.
That
it's so
that
good.
sounds like my kind of game.
Oh, it's excellent, dude. Excellent, excellent. I can't wait for The Witcher 4, but I've seen CD Projekt Red tease Cyberpunk 2077. I want to say it was like 2016 or 2014 or some bullshit like that. And the
Hmm.
game came out like fucking 6 or 7 years later. So this recent tease of The Witcher 4, I'm not hyped for it at all. I'm like, whatever. I don't care. I love CD Projekt. I like their work. I love what they do, but this isn't even remotely on my radar. I'm not excited for The Witcher 4 because I know for a fact it is so many fucking years out that it's stupid. And when they
Hmm.
finally drop a release date, it's going to get rejected. It's going to be pushed back. They're going to keep doing that same shit that they did with the Cyberpunk 2077. It got pushed back so many fucking times, dude. I was heartbroken a million times before that game finally hit. And luckily for me, I got it on the PC where most of the problems weren't really prevalent, but on the
Yeah,
consoles, those guys who bought it on the consoles, holy shit, they were having a bad time. But
they were having a
what?
rough time, dude. I remember that whole debacle.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. But yeah, that's all I got for it.
Excellent. I will definitely keep my eyes on that series. Let's move on to number three.
Hmm.
So, early details have emerged regarding the ROG Xbox Ally and the Ally X handhelds, covering their pre-order date, launch window, and pricing. Gaming Insider Ecstasis, I assume is how you pronounce it, who spoke with European retailers, suggests that pre-orders for the ROG Xbox Ally and Ally X handhelds will open this August, with an official launch in October. It's really soon. I like that.
Hmm.
Um, Likely the second half. European pricing is rumored to be £599. Is that no euros? Sorry, excuse me,
I was gonna
pounds.
say yeah, euros. Yeah.
For the standard Ally and €899 for the Ally X. US prices are expected to be $499 for the regular model and $799 for the Ally X. 79.99 US dollars.
For the more
Hit him.
expensive one, yeah.
Yeah, hit him with one of those. What do you think about this, Tony?
Uh, if this is true, $500 or $800, it's definitely not for me. But
Mhm.
I'm wondering if any of this interests you or makes you consider one of these machines over, let's say, the Steam Deck. Because yeah, it's not for me. This isn't something I'm even remotely interested in. So I'd rather throw it back to you on that.
It does. I do have my eye on it. I think it's a cool concept. 79 7 799 does surprise me for the price because I think the Ally X, just the normal ROG Ally X, is around the same price, if not a little bit more pricey. So it's just kind of strange to see. And of course, this is rumor. I don't think anything's been confirmed yet. But it would be surprising to see that it's at $7.99 in terms of price because they had to create a Windows version, a version of Windows 11 to run with this thing, so that you could play your games seamlessly between all your applications like Steam, Epic Games, and like the Game Pass. Um, I would honestly expect it to be more, and I wouldn't be surprised. But if they price it at $7.99, then they're trying to be competitive with everything else, which is a good thing to see. Um, but this won't be a day one for me. I'll probably wait a year to see how it does and how it plays for everybody else. I still haven't even bought a Steam Deck, but I've been wanting one so badly. But this
Yeah,
could be another good option.
if you wait a year, you might hear, rumors about a second one coming. You
The
know,
Steam Deck too. Yeah, that's what I'm holding out for, bro. I want one.
crap,
I hear the rumors. I want one so bad. Steam Deck 2, baby.
baby.
Yeah, so keeping an eye on it, but definitely not gonna buy it.
All right, let's
Uh,
move over to the news. Number one in the news, we have Bloober Team, fresh off their successful remake of Konami's classic psychological horror game Silent Hill 2, is headed back to where it all began. Konami officially announced at their press start games showcase that Bloober Team is now developing a remake of the original Silent Hill game, kicking off the franchise anew. Details regarding its release date and specific platforms, however, are not disclosed. Just know that it's on the way. Oscar, I think you've said before that when it comes to horror games, you're a bit of a wuss. You gonna man the
yes.
you gonna man the fuck up and check this game out?
Yeah, I'm gonna have my wife hold my hand while I play this one. Dude, you should have seen me when I played Dead Space when they remade Dead Space.
Oh,
I I couldn't sit still. I was like standing up while I was playing the game.
yeah, Dead Space is immaculate, dude. I didn't play the remake. You did?
Terrifying, yeah. Oh man, the remake was fucking awesome. I love Dead Space. If they remade 2 and 3, man, I would love that. Cause
Oh,
the remake was fucking awesome. I loved it. It was terrifying. Oh my god, it was terrifying. It had me like stiff, dude. I was as stiff as a board while playing the entire game. I couldn't like turn past a corner without like taking that corner really wide, dude. But yeah, not to take light away from or the spotlight away from Silent Hill. This definitely is a game that I have my eye on. They recently remade Silent Hill 2, huh?
Yeah, Bloober. Yep, same
Yeah, I'm gonna
guys.
have to play that first, I think, because I don't think I can wait for the Silent Hill 1 remake. But yeah, a lot of games to play, man. I but thankfully I'll probably check these games out with my lady. Horror games I can't do by myself, dude. Gotta play them with somebody else.
hmm
I'm a bit of a coward. What about you? How do you feel about this? You gonna play Silent Hill Remake when it comes out? Have you played Silent Hill 2 Remake?
No, no, actually, I'll definitely play this game, but I said that same shit about Silent Hill 2 remake after it received such high praise, and I've yet to do so. Um, but hear me out. Like the second game got the remake treatment first, just because it
Mm,
was the most beloved in the franchise, and as far as I
mm,
know, it wasn't a prequel or anything. So story wise, it made no sense the way it does when you wonder why the hell they wanted to start with MGS3 in that series. You
mm.
know what? You know what? Let me look it up. Hold on, because I need to know. Does Silent Hill
Stand by, ladies and gentlemen.
just
Doing some quick research.
okay? I just looked it up, and Silent Hill 1 and 2 are standalone games with their own stories and characters. I withdraw my argument.
Excellent. So you have no excuse.
No excuse. I think I'd still like to play them in numerical order. So I'll wait for this one first. But I
Yeah.
remember what I remember the most is when it was originally announced that Bloober was developing Silent Hill 2 and people were really skeptical. After the first gameplay trailer dropped, that only exacerbated people's concerns.
Mm,
I don't think they went back to the drawing board after that reaction or anything like that with like with what happened to the original Sonic movie, you know, like when people were just like, "Dude, this is garbage," and they went back to the drawing board and were like, "All right, we need to remake
Got
this."
to
But
remake Sonic because he's ugly as fuck.
right, and
Yeah.
like when Bluebird dropped that fucking original trailer, the gameplay trailer for Silent Hill 2 remake, people were like, "Dude, what the fuck is this garbage? It looks like trash." And it doesn't seem like they went back to the drawing board on that at all. It's like they just kept going and they had faith that as soon as people had their hands on it, they'd love it, and they did. And now everyone is stoked that they're the ones remaking the first game. So good for them, dude. Good for Bloober.
Yeah, I love how stuff like that works out.
Yeah, me
They
too.
stuck to their guns and it worked out.
Yeah, 100%, dude. 100%.
Absolutely. All right, let me read this next one.
Go for it.
All right. Sony's new CEO, Hideaki Nishino, has confirmed the PlayStation 6 is a top priority for the company's future strategy. He emphasized Sony's continued commitment to dedicated console hardware over cloud gaming, viewing local execution as the preferred method for the majority of players. Nishino stated that planning for the next generation console is top of mind to enhance player engagement within PlayStation's large ecosystem, with industry predictions placing the PS6's launch around 2028. How do you feel
Fuck.
about this, Tony?
Uh, I mean, I just recently got a PS5, so in my mind, the console generation just started.
Yeah, for you it did. And you
No, but
probably won't get one until your PS5 dies.
no, yeah, exactly, exactly. In all seriousness, like my PS5, it's just a machine that I can play my old PS4 games on if I wanted to, and it's also taking the role of being my new media player for my living
Mm-hmm.
room.
Mm-hmm.
So, with the PS6 being talked about, even though it's like 3 years or more out,
3 years away. Yeah, it's
but
too far to say anything about it.
still, 3 years can go by pretty damn fast. You know,
You know it. Top
the
of
new
mind.
the news just makes me wonder how far into the next console's lifespan am I going to be compelled to buy it? You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not usually a day one adopter of new hardware, but if there's an exclusive killer app, I can be swayed like anyone else, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, like
I'm
what kind of features is this new console going to provide us with, and what games are we going to get with it, like day one? You know?
For me, it's the games. It's always the
Yeah.
games. I'm pretty sure I've said it before, but if Horizon Forbidden West or God of War Ragnarok were exclusive to the PS5, I would have gotten one way sooner. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one in that boat. Thing
Mm-hmm.
is, I've seen a lot of remasters or paid upgrades or games that were also available on PS4 throughout this generation. And if they do that shit again when the PS6 drops, I'll be good to wait until my PS5 goes tits up, like you said. Like,
Yes, sir.
back compat better be still a thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's my main thing. Like PS6, PS5, PS4, they all better be, you know, compatible with each other. I want to play my PS4 games on my PS6. Otherwise, I might not want it. I don't know. I don't know. But
Honestly, I think even with the generational like jump in technology, I don't think most PS5 games would even need an upgrade because that's where my mind immediately goes. It's like if you have those PS5 games to your PS6, they would just run natively better because of the stronger hardware. They wouldn't even need an upgrade, you know? Like how much further are you trying to push gaming, you know?
I mean, you'd think so, but from the PS4 to PS5, I thought the same exact thing. Like, give us better frame rates,
Hmm.
shit like that, faster loading times, but there's still that lack in some sections from the PS5.
Yeah.
So, who's to say? I don't know. My mind latched on the words like the local execution,
Hmm.
from that write up, and that to me it sounds like it refers to digital games downloaded to your console, but it also sounds to me like there's still room for physical games on the next Sony console. Did you get that same vibe from that one little spot? Where the fuck was it? Local
Yeah,
execution.
I was trying to figure out what he meant by that.
Yeah, local execution
Looks up
as the
execution
preferred
method.
method. Yeah, so it makes sense to me that he's obviously talking about digital games downloaded to your console, but yeah, also sounds like physical games might be still in their minds. So
Good.
anyone like yourself who's super involved with physical games media, and you want to have your collections and everything physically, it sounds like there's still hope for you on the PS6. Um, so yeah, did you get that same vibe from that, or what are your thoughts on this?
No, actually, that's a great point. But I don't know. I my mind was just trying to wrap around what he was trying to say. But I think what you're saying is pretty logical. I think that makes sense.
Hmm.
Bringing or continuing to provide a physical copy of games.
Yeah, I'd love
Yeah.
for them to have learned their lesson from PS3 to 4 and understand that people want to be able to play the games that they have already bought for their previous generation of consoles, and
Yeah.
not just digital but physical everything. So I really hope that that's a focus on PS6, to where they say, okay, if you have these games digital, physical, whatever, you'll be able to play your PS5 and PS4 games on your PS6, and
Mhm.
dare I say PS3 2 and 1s. That
PlayStation
would be
3.
incredible. That'd be
That would be.
incredible.
Yeah, I don't see why not. PlayStation 2 games, like they already got them on. They got some of them in their library
Dude, if they
on
if
the
they if they
PS5.
do that, like to where like you can put your fucking PS2 discs in, your PS1 discs, your PS3 discs, I'd be glazing the fuck out of PS6. That would be the number one console. I wouldn't think of consoles at all. I wouldn't even think of PC at all. I'd be all over that shit. That's incredible. I
Yeah, that
really
would
hope
definitely be a big power move.
Yeah, I really hope they do that, because as of right now, we've said this on previous episodes, but Xbox, Microsoft, they have that shit on lock when it comes to
Mhm.
backwards compatibility and bringing their old games forward. They're kings. They are missing a couple, but it's not nearly as bad as Sony or Nintendo in that. So kudos where it matters.
Yeah, Nintendo's just slowly getting better at bringing a lot of their old games to modern hardware.
Hmm. Yet here is Sony, kind of still struggling. So hopefully they understand with the PS6.
Yeah, they'll get it right.
Yep. Number three, Mindseye, developed by Build a Rocket Boy, a studio co-founded by former Grand Theft Auto producer Leslie Benzies, has faced severe backlash since its June 10th release. Players widely reported it as a technical disaster with pervasive bugs, crashes, and poor performance, especially on consoles, drawing comparisons to Cyberpunk 2077's debut. The
Youch.
studio, yeah, the studio withheld review copies. CEO Mark Gerhardt, I think that's how you say his name, claimed
Mm.
that bot farms and paid critics were in a concerted effort to bash the game ahead of its release. Coupled with a high price tag that players felt didn't match the game's unpolished state, Mindseye quickly earned mostly negative Steam reviews and saw a remarkably low concurrent player count on launch day, peaking at just over 3,000, which now sits, last I checked, which was yesterday, at fewer than
Eee.
200. God
Youch.
damn, dog. I mean,
That's the.
yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I only just heard about this game when the players
Mm.
started trouncing it and asking for refunds. But you and I frequent different social media platforms, so I'm curious. What all have you heard about this game?
It must be doing so bad because I've actually gotten no news about it on my feed whatsoever.
Nothing. Holy shit.
Nothing. And I get news for like PlayStation and Nintendo. Like I get that stuff all the time, but I got nothing for this game. I actually don't even know like how bad it is graphically or what even the problem is with the game, but it sounds like a crash and burn, bro. That to compare it to Cyberpunk
Oh
at
my
its
god.
debut, that's crazy. So
Well,
it's gotta be bad.
let me take it away for you then. Let me try my best to educate you on this fucking disaster. Apparently, um,
Mhm,
so this Benzies guy, he was the former president of Rockstar North,
mhm.
and he was a producer on every Grand Theft Auto game and DLC since GTA 3, including Liberty City Stories, Vice City Stories, and one of my personal favorites, Chinatown Wars, for the 3DS. If you haven't played that game, fuck you. You need to play it, especially dude. Chinatown Wars fucking rules. I love that game so much. But anyways, he was producer on both Manhunt games, L.A. Noir, Max Payne 3. He was the lead designer and basically the savior of Red Dead Redemption.
No way.
Um, yeah, Sam Hauser. Sam Hauser sent him an email back in 2009 that said, "quote I need the Benz," end quote, because the game was such a mess apparently, and he helped to get it past the finish line. So
So what
somehow
happened?
I know, right? So somehow this pedigree isn't translating into this new game. Apparently, the studio is working on an MMO and basically a game creation platform called Everywhere. So
Mhm.
I'm thinking maybe most of their funding went to that project instead, and they aren't putting too much focus here. I don't know. Um, I'm really intrigued as to whether or not they can turn this game around like Cyberpunk did,
Yeah.
or just run off into the abyss like the developers of that game. What's it called? The Day Before. You remember that one not too long ago?
No. No,
Oh,
I'm not familiar with that at all, and probably
oh,
for good
dude,
reason.
that's okay. Yeah, that was a game that it was marketed like it was going to be some next gen holy fuck of a game, and when it came out it was so bad, so buggy, so fucked up. People were just like furious over it, and the developers just ran off into the abyss and said,
Really?
I'll take my money and run." And they just ran,
They
and then
disappeared.
dude, and then they had the fucking audacity to put up a new Kickstarter for another game of theirs or some shit like that. And I'm just like, you people have no shame, dude. Uh,
What was the game called?
it's called The Day Before. If you look it up on Steam, I'm pretty sure it's not available anymore. They took it down. Not the developers, but I'm pretty sure Steam took it down. They're just like, no, you're not allowed to sell this anymore. It was so bad. And it was sold, marketed as like, I don't know if it was like a GTA killer or what it was, but people were so hyped for this game, and I didn't hear about it until it came out, and that fucker went belly up. So yeah,
Yeah, I've never even heard of this game.
yeah, I don't know, man. So yeah,
That's a shame.
Mind's Eye. We'll keep an eye on you, pun intended. But yeah, we'll move on. Since you have nothing to say about Mind's Eye, you should totally look into it because it's kind of fascinating as of right now, and I'm really interested to see where it goes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd love to see more about this.
especially since one of the main creators of the game was such a, let's call him a video game icon. He was part of some of the biggest games in video game history. So I don't know what the fuck happened. That's fascinating to me.
Hmm.
All right, let's go to number 4. Do you want to read this one?
Sure.
All right,
All
go for it.
right. Stellar Blade has already become Sony's most successful launch on Steam. The PC port, released on June 11th, has garnered an overwhelmingly positive review average. Addendum, which has since become very positive, with players praising its robust performance, smooth optimization, unlocked frame rates, and support for DLSS 4 and AMD FSR 3. Holy shit, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, bro.
This led to a peak concurrent player count. Damn, that's actually fucking crazy, bro. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Um, this led to a peak concurrent player count of over 188,000. I said that right? 188,000 on Steam, eclipsing
Yep.
other PlayStation PC releases such as Marvel Spider-Man Remastered, Ghost of Tsushima, and God of War. Furthermore,
Yeah.
the PC version launched with additional content including a new boss and 25 new costumes, further enhancing the player experience and contributing to its widespread acclaim and strong sales performance. Dude, that's
Bro.
crazy. That's actually crazy.
Yeah, you seem to be hung up on the DLSS 4 and AMD FSR 3.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. That's really cool because then that's just like that basically is helping you run the game even better
Yeah, dude,
than
like that.
the already optimized thing that they're probably providing on Steam. That's actually fucking crazy.
I thought that was really funny how you. I probably should have told you about that when I did the write up. I put in stars addendum, and I was just like, so basically, it started off as overwhelmingly positive, and then when I checked it last night, it was very positive. So there were a couple
So
of
it
negative
changed. Oh,
reviews.
okay. So an
Yeah, so,
addendum is an addition.
right, right, right. So
Okay.
just yeah,
That's funny.
but you said
I wasn't supposed to
addendum.
read that part. That's really funny.
Oh, I love that.
Oh,
I
fuck
love
it. We'll
that.
leave it in.
Fuck
Fuck
it.
it. We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. um.
Yeah, I
So,
had to double take with the DLSS 4.
but you've had a PS5 much longer than I have. Have you played Stellar Ass, or have you been holding
Mm,
off for the PC version?
no, I was holding off for the PC version. I'm kind of like in a mix though, because I don't want to play games at my computer, bro. Because the chair that I have hurts my ass so much. So, so I don't know, because I want to play it like really badly. So I'm like stuck if I want to get it on the PlayStation or if I want to get it on Steam.
Yeah, I mean, if you want mods, PC's where to go. I mean, Gooners are all over this game, bro. I read
Yeah,
that at least 40% or more of mods for this game on PC are hypersexual.
no.
so
I mean
so
that's nice. That's nice to have, but I just want to play the game because of the combat style and you know, fuck it. I'll say it. I like pretty ladies. If I
yeah,
see pretty lady in video game, I play.
pretty lady in video game. Yeah, dude, but like I'm assuming that since she's plenty hooked up like already in all categories, they're probably nude mods or like Thomas the Tank Engine mods because those are pretty fucking sexual.
Yeah,
no, no. In all seriousness, I'm so glad to see them stick the landing and reap the benefits to this. Like,
dude, it's so cool.
yeah, it was near the top of the Steam charts the last I checked, and it has great reviews. It's unfortunate that Sony's first party games haven't all had this kind of port quality, but
Mhm.
hopefully they're taking note of how important it is for sales. Because I don't just mean day one sales from folks that aren't in the know, but
Mhm.
hopefully they're seeing how important word of mouth is for your game to stick and catch fire, break records and all that shit.
This is actually one game that I had on my feed that I like just continued to see like day in and day out. But like the publicity was crazy. Like everybody was talking about it. Everybody wanted to play Stellar Blade on PC.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
dude.
yeah, it was crazy.
And they're doing such a great job. Like people aren't having many problems in terms of um, optimization or anything. So
Mhm.
uh, most of the negative reviews are just people who bought this game probably because of word of mouth and decided that it's just not for them. It's like, hey, it's
Yeah.
not for me. So I wouldn't
That
recommend
is
it.
an unfortunate side effect of games traveling by word of mouth.
Yeah. All right. Let's move over to community corner. Real quick, there's a rumor of a powerful Sony handheld coming around the same time as the PS6 a few years from now, and it got us wondering: what would you want from a PlayStation handheld? Do you want the Portal? I'm sorry, do you have the Portal and you're satisfied with something like that, or would you rather them take another stab at the Vita, perhaps? Um, Real quick, our homie Buttery Croissant, wrote in, and he says very Frenchly, "I own the Portal, and I think it's as far as it goes. To go with pricing 600 for a console is all right, but if you do what the Ally is doing for the Xbox, that's another $800. It's too expensive for a console gamer. A portable system is Nintendo's playground. It's their high standard. Sony has a higher standard, and putting out a system with lower specs just for a handheld is bad for the company. I agree, especially to make lower quality games. Most gamers don't play games on the go, especially the Switch. You either dock it or you play it around the house, like me. Even if I threw that in there because that's definitely me. Even if you own
No,
a
that's me
Steam,
too.
okay, just making sure. Even if you own a Steam Deck, you still play 95% of the time on your PC. So, in conclusion, Buttery Croissant says, the PS Portal is better so you can play current console content anywhere in the home. I'd pay $200 for an extra controller to play anywhere in the house compared to $800 to play a game, same game, in a Taco Bell parking lot. And I just want to say, I couldn't agree more with basically everything he said there.
Yeah, that's actually that puts into perspective, honestly. Like that makes a lot of sense to me. That's pretty logical. Like $200 like to play like same games anywhere in your house, or
Yeah,
$800 to play the same game like across the world. Like
yeah.
what's more worth it to you?
Like we're trying to appeal to people like us. You and I, we work full-time jobs. Mike obviously works a full-time job. He's not
Yeah.
traveling across the country or into other countries all the fucking time, and he's not going to be bringing this thing with him all over the world, just like us. So I'm not going to take my 3DS. I don't care about it that much, but I love that fucking thing, and I'm not going to take that over to your place because I know I'm a clumsy piece of shit and I'm probably going to drop it like I did with my laptop. So, like, I'm probably only going to play my 3DS around the apartment. Same thing with any other handheld device that I get. Switch, same thing. I'll
Hmm.
bring it from one room to the other, and that's it. That's as far as it goes. So I can't agree with Mike, Buttery Croissant, more on what he said. I agree with everything he said. I
Yeah.
can't justify another almost $1,000 purchase to play something handheld if I can easily just walk into the other room and just play it on my PC. I'd rather just do that.
Yeah. I think Mike just sold me on a PlayStation Portal.
Yeah, dead ass. Dead ass. Is it really $200? I need to look into that. I have no idea.
I I just looked it up. It's actually only just $200.
Fuck me, dude. I
It's the
might get a
price of
portal.
An Xbox Elite controller.
All right, Mike. You
But
sold two people on a $200
yeah,
controller. Thank you. I love you.
I I want to go into further explanation as to why I say that. Because I have a situation where it's me and my wife. We like to chill on the couch, or sometimes in bed.
Hmm.
And like we have a TV on wheels that we like to lug around. I mostly keep it in the bedroom where my wife can use to watch, shows and stuff, and then I'll be on my Switch next to her. And that was kind of our dynamic um, up until recently, where I've started playing more PS5 games.
Hmm.
But now I don't have that handheld option anymore, right? So I have to lug the TV with me, like if I want to sit on the couch, so that way she can watch her shows next to me on the couch. She can use the big screen in the living room while I use the smaller TV. But like having to like take the TV and like take the PlayStation 5 and like move it around like just back and forth all the time, that's a pain in the ass, I'm not gonna lie. Um so
Yeah.
the PlayStation Portal I think would fix that
Oh,
issue for
100%.
me, because then I could just take it anywhere, and the PlayStation 5 will do the rendering for me essentially and stream. I assume that's how it works. The PlayStation 5 does the rendering of the game while the handheld portion is receiving the data, via like cloud, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not too sure exactly how the technology works, but apparently it
Mhm.
works really well. It connects to the same Wi-Fi, and you can play whatever you can play on your PS5 in your little portal thing, sitting in bed, getting ready for bed or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome, dude. I might get one of these days as well. Sounds like a
Yeah,
great,
I'm sold.
yeah. Then our buddy Ray, the sweet baby himself, said simply, "quote I miss my Vita. Not gonna lie." End quote.
Poor poor Ray.
Poor Ray, always
Poor
poor
Ray.
Ray.
Poor guy just can't get a fucking break.
Yep. And then our guy Pat, he said, "quote Yeah, I didn't care for the Vita. Thought it was a pretty big flop for the PlayStation. I was expecting it to be as magical as the PSP was. I wish I still had a PSP. That was a special moment in video game history to me." End quote. He then went on about how he played Battlefront with his brothers, SOCOM, and Tiger Woods PGA Tour '08. So, and
we
yeah.
we actually have an update about this comment.
Go ahead.
So we were in a call with Pat earlier today, and I guess he pulled out his old because I had mentioned when this topic of conversation was going on in the Discord, I had mentioned to them I was selling you guys on getting a PS Vita because you can mod it and like play all the old PSP games and like PS Vita games, like whatever they had for it, you could play those games on your PS Vita, and the modding for it is so easy nowadays. Like you don't even have to like get anything besides like your standard like SD card and like maybe a converter.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because it's like
that's what he
micro
was
SD
saying.
to like the SD card converter. And Pat was like, I guess he whipped out his old PlayStation Vita and he tried it, and like now he's kind of like slowly getting back into it. He's just trying to figure out how to like, I guess his file directory isn't working, so his PS Vita doesn't know where his games are. But yeah, he's like emulating PSP and PS Vita games on his Vita. So um yeah, I guess maybe like severely underrated like handheld console, you know? Like maybe there is a market for something like that still. But like Mike said, I think it would be better just to have the call it, the handheld that's just the streaming device, you know. Use the PS5 as the hardware and then just stream that content directly to the little handheld.
Yeah. I mean, I personally would love a Vita type machine, honestly,
Mhm,
but cuz like from what I've read, that thing was powerful as fuck for its time.
mhm.
But I think it failed mainly due to the lack of support from Sony.
Yeah.
Um Shuhei Yoshida, one of the previous PlayStation bosses, he even said that they had to split teams between making games for the Vita, the PS3 at the time, and then later on the PS4. So
Mhm.
since the Vita wasn't as profitable as the others, it pretty much got the shit end of the stick. So the games that did make it to the console were scaled down versions. I'm pretty sure they had proprietary memory cards. I mentioned that to Patrick earlier. I was like, I'm pretty sure they had proprietary memory cards that were like way more expensive than your everyday SD cards, and that's when he told me that like, oh yeah, nowadays they have the what do you call it? The adapters that you just like
Oh.
take your you take your everyday SD card, you put it in the adapter, and then pop it into your Vita or whatever. But
Mhm.
honestly, yeah, yeah. Buttery Croissant sold me on a Portal. He's 100% right. I'm not going anywhere with that motherfucker. Maybe my bedroom. So, if they drop
Yeah.
a if they drop a handheld console that plays the current games for me in my bed, then cool. I want that shit.
Yeah. With
Otherwise,
the
maybe not.
same, yeah, I'm sold.
Yeah, yeah, 100%, dude. Um, But yeah, this brings us to the glitch out, dude. Check us out on TikTok, Instagram, Glitch Ass Entertainment, baby. Don't forget to get all sexual on that like button. Uh, talk to us in the comments. Subscribe to become a glitch ass gamer with your boys. Yeah, unless you have anything to say. Do you have anything to say before we glitch the fuck out of here?
Oh yeah, still a Blade #1.
Stellar Blade number one. Get Stellar Blade.
Blade.
This episode brought to you by Stellar Blade.
Stellar Blade. Oh man,
All right, folks.
fantastic.
Keep gaming and keep glitching. See you next week.
Absolutely. See you guys later.
All right, bye.
Bye bye.